Hello everyone, Saint Virtual here. So day 1 FanFest is officially over and there's so much goodies to dissect, more in particular Endwalker details. The keynotes provided an array of new details on the upcoming expansion, including a release date which is November 23rd of this year. I don't know why they advertised it as a fall release considering the first day of winter is typically November 21st for most countries, but I will not deviate and argue about it. Thankfully we have a release date and that's what ultimately matters, though they could even just advertise it as a holiday release, just saying. Kicking off the keynotes, we got a brand new trailer for Endwalker, which revealed new areas, story elements, and a horde of void sands for your dark, twisted fantasy galore. And within that trailer, we got our first look at the weapon Xenos chosen from last patch, which is 5.5, which ended off this decision in a cliffhanger. Now we know that Xenos is wielding a scythe. More information on the upcoming DPS class began flooding in soon after. Cue in Yoshi P, cosplayed as the new DPS class, now officially known as Reaper. And honestly, it looks pretty badass. Normally I don't play a DPS class, I'm usually a healer, but now I am a little intrigued. They released new information on a couple of new areas to explore, as well as Charlian, which will be the next main city-state for this expansion. Yoshi P said that originally when he took over Final Fantasy XIV, they were supposed to release all 6 city-states at once, which is Ul'dah, Gridania, Limsa, Ishgard, Alamigo, and Charlian. However, due to time constraints, they were only able to implement 3 city-states, which he believes is already a lot for a game at launch. But he expressed further that with Charlian now being released, and of course Endwalker being dubbed as a new dawn, everything is now coming to full circle, lore-wise and even development-wise. Elaborating more on new areas, first up we have Laborentos, which appears to be encapsulated inside a dome. Yoshi P mentioned that this area is actually underground and that the weather and day and night cycle changes through a projection. This area seems pretty cool, and if I have to assume, it may be located underneath Charlian. In the trailer, Y'shtola was quite perturbed that Charlian is not even considering joining the Alliance in this upcoming fight. I think Laborentos may have been a project by Charlian to migrate underground if Hydaelyn and the unrest of the Garland Empire doesn't get any better. Next up, we have Thavenere, and I'm totally in love with the concept of this area, especially how colorful Radz-at-Han is. It appears we're going to have Radz-at-Han, which is going to be Endwalker's version of, let's say, Ulmor, Rhaegal's Reach, and finally Idyllshire. The surrounding area for Radz-at-Han is simply just Thavenere. They also just released a new threat within Thavenere, which is the Magus Sisters, most notably a secret Ion from Final Fantasy X. I'm unsure if they're a new primal fight or based on something completely different. They did express that the Magus Sisters are completely different from the ones we know in Final Fantasy X, and that they are actually a Final Fantasy XIV original. So I don't think the Magus Sisters is going to be a primal just based on that information alone. Next we have new pictures of Garlemald, and it is completely torn up. We know from the story so far and just what they mention is that Garlemald is being dismantled from inside, so which makes completely sense as to why Garlemald looks the way that it does now, compared to when we did get glimpses of Garlemald back in, let's say, 2.0 General Realm Reborn. It seemed like a thriving, technologically driven capital. We also got a new area which appears to be a floating civilization in the sky. Personally, I call this Sea of Clouds 2.0, but really the vibe I'm getting is Churning Mists 2.0. And last, we have Mare Lamentorum, which is the area on the moon, and it is quite collected in a sense with old ruins, civilization that is inhabited by the new beast tribe, the Laborentos, and even elements of underwater caverns that we've seen in the Tempest and Shadowbringers. Finally, we have the announcement of the most anticipated and shocking information of them all. Bunny Boys, aka male Vieras. This information came as a surprise, and I'm sure many were not expecting it at all. I'm also considering throwing away my Ura in favor to be a Viera male, but I think Miqo'te boys are going to dwindle down in population significantly with this announcement. They also revealed that yes, female Hrothgars are coming, but won't make a debut until sometime following the release of Endwalker, so we may see female Hrothgars for 7.0, or perhaps mid-patch, between the cycle bridging from 6.0 to 7.0, where they may introduce the female Hrothgar to Final Fantasy XIV. They also announced the new 24-man raid, Myths of the Realm, which will be an exclusive raid series to Final Fantasy XIV, which I'm very happy about because the majority of the 24-man raid series have been new iterations from other games except for the Void Ark series. To top off the keynote, they announced the Collector's Edition and pre-order bonuses, which includes early access, an in-game item, Manfitting Earring, and Wind-Up Palominium, as well as a new data center for the Oceanic region, which will be best suited for Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asian players. We also got a promotional art for Endwalker, which includes the Science, the Warrior of Light, and of course like certain characters from this expansion. We also got this one female character here just at the top, which many believe is perhaps Menphilia or a manifestation of Heideland. And if you look close enough, she's actually holding one of the Ascians masks, which is very, very interesting. So I would definitely hold your teacups and give a good loud, I wonder what that is. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on the Endwalker keynotes and what are you most excited for. Thanks for watching and see you all next time.